because however many games are played in this best of 7, there's going to be a lot to learn. Timo to serve. How is that the first point? Where do you go from there? How does it get faster? How can you play? This is just unbelievable. Opening swing by Timo Boll, and it comes right back nonstop. Strong start for Timo Boll. Again, for me, the backhand of Timo Boll has just been so fearless throughout this tournament. He's really played the back line of the table well.
2-1.
And similarly, Dima, when he gets in that first opening backhand receive, has been very effective. He had a slow start against Simon Gauzy, but managed to get the receive game turned up a notch.
2-0.
There it is again, the backhand receive. Both players breaking the opponent's serve, interestingly enough. No player has served and won a point yet. The trend continues. Typically, the receiver is at a disadvantage as they don't determine how the point starts. They have the second shot of the rally. Nice placement. Timo plays it down the line to the forehand side. Dima ready to go the other way. Starts to turn, and it costs him a little bit of time. Still almost comes back with the shot. First towel break of the game, Timo Boll leading 4-2. Still a point has not been scored by the server. And the trend continues. We saw this yesterday with Timo Boll versus Lin Gaoyuan, trying to fish the ball back up after a net ball. Really important to keep that low, so he tries. And that is the first point that a server has won. Timo Boll hangs on to the lead to break the trend.
3-5.
Well placed, deep to the backhand corner. Boll very precise there with the counter shot. That's a still shot. Timo Boll missing the contact, but when he's behind the table this tournament, from time to time I've seen him fish or float it back up, but he's not doing a lot of that in this tournament. Staying quite aggressive, playing a young man's game out here. Very physically fit.
7-4.
Deep push, game 1. 3-point lead for Timo Boll. Oh, burns him down the line. Strong shot from Dima, but if Timo can get there, he can hit a miraculous shot back. Just a question of if he can reach it. Watch it one more time from the middle while he's in the air breaking to the forehand side. I don't think either of his feet were on the ground when he found that place on the table. Timo Boll looking very strong. Again, we can never count Dima out. He's down 6-10 in the 7th in China.
9-5.
It's going to be a tough shot. Heavy spin, low, deep on the table from Dima. But getting this first game, I think, will be quite important. Again, both of these players have to be somewhat tired. Timo Boll came in tired before he started his killing spree here, beating Lin Gaoyuan and Ma Long. Oh, this one gets away. Looks like there's a little bit more rotation on that. A little bit of side spin on it as well. Unconventional shot from Dima to save the point. Oh, and even with that strong of an opening, it comes right back, and he hasn't recovered. 3 in a row, no, 4 in a row, I believe, for Dimitrij OVTCHAROV. From 4-9, and here he is with his second serve. Fast and long to the backhand, and he's tied up at 9 points each. It's Timo Boll who has the last 2 serves that game 1 will see. Very bold play from Dima with that long serve. Sounds like they're cheering Timo, but Timo and Dima are close enough. The sound meter, I'd say about 80-20 with the crowd right now. Ooh! Serve stays a little bit shorter. That reverse pendulum serve. Game point to Timo Boll. Nice break of momentum after 5 in a row for Dima. Quite similar to the one before. Subtle variation, if any, and Dima reads it well to play it down the line. Maybe light topspin with that mostly side spin serve. Soft spinny ball, Timo Boll playing it a little bit safer, but I'd say quite confident to play a softer shot against Dima. Again, Dima started backing off the table. That's a good time to play it softer and spinnier. And Timo Boll takes game 1, 12-10 over Dimitrij OVTCHAROV. It's a best of 7. We'll be back for game 2. As Jorg Roskopf watches as a spectator, you can all enjoy this match. Game 2 coming up right after this.
Second game, Boll to serve, level.
Back for game number 2. Timo Boll leading 1-0. And Dima on the receive.
1 live.
Now, interesting question between games. Do you notice a difference in their games? Do they look different? Because these two players play each other a lot, so the tricks they normally pull out, the tactics they normally have, they're going to have to find some new ways to surprise each other out here.
1-0.
That point might be a little bit more typical. We've seen that in the past. Last reaction. Dima finding a good place right on the elbow, pulling the forehand attempt out of Timo.
2-1.
Back edge of the table. Little break for Timo Boll, tying it up at 2 each.
Three, two.
And the amount of deception on that reverse pendulum serve.
Please.
It's won Timo a lot of points. Dima asked to please come back to the table. Not stall between points. Good placement here from Dima, playing it deep into the backhand side. Boll can't run around for the forehand attack. It's interesting when I think back throughout this tournament of the most successful shots that Timo's had. One of the most impressive things to me is the backhand attacks that he's taken time and time again. And even against Ma Long, I feel like that was critical. To have backhands that he could play from either corner, from in near the table, off the table. Here it is again. Many said of Waldner when he was playing that he could hit a shot and vary the amount of spin drastically. Not only that, but the depth and placement on the table. And I feel like the same can be said about Timo Boll. This comes with a lot of experience.
5-3.
Well, Timo Boll's starting to run ahead a bit here. Dima's pulled off some big comebacks throughout this tournament. Simon Gauzy started off strong. Dima came back stronger. Shibaev just the same.
5-4.
And in one of the most dramatic examples that comes to mind, it was Dima versus Timo Boll, the China Open, where Dima was down 4 match points and still came back to win.
4-6.
There was that slow, shallow ball on the table. Again, talked about how Waldner would play it a little closer to the net sometimes. And you've got a player backing up, making the ball drop just behind the net. Leaves the opponent uncomfortable. Oh, as wide as they come back right down the line. With Dima coming around to take the backhand, leaves open the backhand corner. Very focused Timo, right in the middle, and still can turn the racket to play it just down the line.
Seven, 5.
Second towel break of the game. Timo Boll leading by 2 here. And this is the thing. Both of these players have pulled off amazing comebacks recently. And while some might say that Timo Boll winning the World Cup at 21 years old and again at 24, playing at 36, you might say, well, he's not at his peak. The results, I think, speak for themselves. Edge of the table, 1-point game. There's that spinny backhand, the extra spin. Now, both of these players are playing a lot of table tennis. I mean, Champions League, the teams they're playing for, both playing in T2, and they've been playing quite close there as well. Always a good match between these two. Ooh, awkward ball, a little bit of side spin. With less topspin, that ball's not going to jump out to Timo Boll as much as maybe he would have expected. So tied up dead even here in game 2. We've seen them go the distance many times before.
Let's 8-0.
It's the second time we've heard a wedding ring on the table in the last 15 seconds or so. Both players here have their families with them. Excellent speed and a quick turn from the backhand. A decisive shot. OVTCHAROV knew that the ball wasn't right on the elbow, had a clear backhand. Actually, watching that in replay, he made a quick decision. He could have turned and tried to take the forehand. But bravo to him for deciding quickly, making a good backhand. Boll not as spinny on that last one, a little bit more of a flat shot, and it's 2 game points for Dimitrij OVTCHAROV. Timo Boll was leading the good majority of this game. Just missing the short side of the table, and Dima takes game 2, 11 points to 8. They're tied up at 1 game apiece, and we'll be back for game 3 to see who takes the lead right after this.
Third game of OVTCHAROV to serve. Love all.
Back for game number 3. Dima to start off with the serve here. A bit of momentum after taking game number 2.
1 love.
Now the first receive that was played on this side of the table for Timo Boll was a similar shot. Timo took the point straight out. Well, took the first point rather. It was a very fast exchange. I think that was so far the best point of the match, was the first point of the match.
Let's love 2. One, 2.
For me, percentage-wise, when Timo Boll's playing that backhand, between down the line, cross court, he can vary up the spin. It's been the key ingredient. It's been very effective, and then he can take the forehand when he needs. He's in position without having to turn the corner.
3.
With a longer serve and Dima getting the first opening attack with that backhand, it's going to be a very difficult, say, very uphill battle for Timo.
Four, 1.
Oh, just out of reach, a very difficult ball. Dima takes it from the deepest corner of the table. Started with the net there. And look at this, the floating chop comes down. Right on the white of the line and just out of reach. Without the topspin to help drive the ball away from the net, Timo doesn't have as much clue where the ball's gonna go. Dima has a little bit more creative control of the angle.
One, 6.
Now mentally, this is a very different game for Timo than the last 2. The last 2 matches he's played have been quite taxing.
7, 1.
They're also not players that he's played time and time again, recently practiced with. Obviously, he's played Ma Long a lot more than he's played Lin Gaoyuan. These two European top players face off quite a bit.
8-1.
So this game has Dima's name written all over it. But then a fast long serve returned well. Could be a step that starts a quick comeback.
Two, 9.
Inside out forehand does not come down, and Timo's going to have to find some energy. He's going to have to find something out here. Game 2 relatively close. 11-8 for Dima. But now 8 game points for Dima. Ripping backhand from over the table. A merciless shot to save 1 game point. Still a long way to go. As hard as Dima hits it, it comes right back into play. It's funny, when the score is something where you might think, well, Timo doesn't care about this game so much. He wins 2 points, making crazy shots. It's very calm and relaxed, returning Dima's full power. Look how calm Timo looks. He spins it softly to the deep backhand, has Dima backing off the table. It's the fact that he knows he's so in control here. That next shot, probably like 60% speed for Timo. Placement, deception, no problem.
5-10.
And now the rip of the backhand while Dima's in close. Never say never with Timo. Even people at the control desk against Lin Gaoyuan were saying no chance. Not against Lin Gaoyuan. But point after point, it just started to come back. Next thing you know, Timo's at deuce and then earning a match point.
10-7.
How? You've got world number 4 with some of the fastest shots. Full stroke. Dima's big, he's strong, he's fast, he's well trained. He's here in the final. And Timo's calmly saved 5 in a row. Finally, a shot misses, and a very refreshing escape for Dimitrij OVTCHAROV. 11-7 to take a 2-1 lead. Timo looking at the incline now. We'll be back for game 4 right after this.
Boll to serve, level.
Back for game number 4, Dimitrij OVTCHAROV on the receive, leading 2-1. Timo changes his mind, gets the ball flying back over his head. I mean, he understood it. It just went over his head, literally. First point to Timo. Usually it's the other way around. Timo's so down to earth, even when he's checking for ball cracks. He's like, he's a casual guy. Break off the top of the net. Timo hoping for a little luck here, rubbing the table like it's a genie lamp for a moment. This is a very difficult shot. Dima, with not a lot of option from below the table, spins it deep. Shots that make girls in the front row giggle. Timo playing it back to the short side, inside out. So if you think back to what it was that got Timo Boll winning 5 points in a row from down 10-2 in the last game, the calm, the misdirection from early in the points.
3-2.
Looks pretty calm here, nice change of pace. At the same time, when Dima gets into the looping action, if Timo falls into a blocking position too much, unless he really throws the rhythm of Dima and changes up the depth on the table, it's going to be tough. Surprise, surprise, short side, parallel from way behind the table. Jenny OVTCHAROV there with the pink hair. And Coach Chun Hong Yoon, personal coach for Dima. It is the Dima camp. Part of it anyway, of course, fans all around the world.
Let's 2-4.
Those long serves into the backhand have paid off quite a lot. A good percentage for Dima. Takes him within 1 point of Timo Boll. Oh man, what a finish! Timo Boll turning and he goes the wrong way. This is some anticipation and reaction time from Dimitrij OVTCHAROV right back down the line. This is one of those exchanges that you love to see. This is what you see from Fan Zhendong and Mao Long. It's coming from Germany's top two as well, but Dima takes the point.
Let's 4-0.
A little bit off the top of the net. Boll's point to step back into the lead. So a 2-point lead. Remember, Timo was leading earlier in this match for most of the game and ended up losing the game.
Let's 4-6.
This is a serve that I'm a big fan of for a righty versus a lefty. Either player serving it deep into the backhand side.
5-6.
This one comes off the table just a little bit too much, enough for Dima to get a confident opening attack. Much unlike the shots that Simon Gauzy had to deal with from Dima's backhand serve. Much better answer. Short receive keeps it inside the table. Dima's been ready for that first full swing, and in the short game, if he gets there late, the ball's most likely going to get popped up. Timo very confident with that backhand. It's interesting how they both have such different backhands, but have such strong backhands. I think in the modern game, the backhand is much more important than it used to be. Speed and power, more than touch play. Not to mention the ball spins less than it used to. A little bit heavier, a little bit bigger.
Let's 7-5.
Backhands from deep, and Timo Boll extends his lead to 3. Oh, once again, he turns the corner early, and Dima plays it down the line. This pattern a little bit deeper in the rally. As strong as Timo is, off the table with the backhand, still looking to turn the corner. Wow, sneaks that one past. Talk about how important it is for a tall player to be good over the table in the short game with the forehand flip. This one has to be right there, or Timo blocks it back out of reach. 2 in a row for Dima. One more shot, he does it again. This time Timo's a little bit closer. He gets a hand on the ball. Ball almost comes back on the table. If that comes down, it's going to be trouble for Dima. Unbelievable. When you've got Dima's side clapping as well, you know that's an outstanding point. Respect for both of these players. It looked like we might have seen a hand switch. That's how far out of position Timo was. From under the table, floats 2 back up on. The counters, comes rushing in. Nail-biting point, and you can't help but applaud for that.
H10.
2 game points for Timo Boll. Calm down, stay cool, go for the backhand opening attack coaching from the crowd. Personal coach within eyesight. I think Timo's 7 years the senior. Coachless, not even in the crowd at this point. Long serve into the backhand has been such a delicious recipe for Dima. Time and time again, it's paid off. And 2 quick shots off the bounce. Timo saves it. After 1 game point saved by Dima, Boll turns around and converts the game. It's tied up at 2 games apiece. Still anybody's match. Game 5 to see who gets the advantage and takes the lead. Game 5 coming up right after this. That right there was Jörg Roskopf watching a man who's thoroughly enjoying himself. Just sitting back and enjoying the entertainment, not needing to root for either player nor coach.
Love 1.
So coming into this game, Dima had outscored Timo Boll 41 points to 38. Timo takes the first point, game number 5. Very persistent play. Dima having to attack many times to the backhand. You're wondering when Timo's going to wait and change it up. What's the pattern going to be? When's the ball going to go the other way? When can he get Dima to step around wide enough?
1, 2.
Beautiful shot as deep as they come to the backhand side. Just watching this, thinking about how impressive Timo's shots are. And then Dima finally finds a place that's out of reach, out of the comfort zone. Forces Timo Boll into submission, a defensive shot. Wow, excellent save from down low, but it sits up high and Timo has a chance to run around. No Fan Zhendong here. Not a bad shot, but definitely not enough to win the point, nor point of the year at the ITTF Star Awards. Timo trying to grab the reins here early, get in control. First towel break, and Dima leading 4 points to 2. I think a lot of people don't appreciate how much responsibility the umpire and assistant umpires have. Stopwatch, making sure everything's happening just right.
2, 5. Let's 2, 5.
That backhand opening is too strong. We saw it in game 2 from Dimitrij OVTCHAROV. Saw it in game 2 against Simon Gauzy as well when he got that first opening attack with the backhand. It left the opponent struggling and virtually defenseless. Better response this time. Timo in position, spins the ball back. Not just a defensive receive. Oh, back edge of the table, a break for Timo. I'm trying to remember, there have been so many matches, especially with these two involved, but I think Dima had some of the luck earlier on in this match. This one escapes. Middle of the table to the middle of the table. Timo with a decent chance here, but again, heavy spin coming in from Dima. Flip kill for the win. Sure if it caught the edge of the table maybe. A little apology there from Timo. We can only surmise that that's what happened from that camera angle. Second towel break of the game. In camp, OVTCHAROV watching carefully. A little bit of luck comes back, but Timo recovers the net ball.
Time out.
And a timeout now on the side of Dimitrij OVTCHAROV. Curious how much communication there will be with the coach.
Dimitrij OVTCHAROV, the 7-6 on timeout. Timeout. 7-6, 2 all.
I'm actually trying to look around. Okay, I see where he's sitting in the stadium. It's the opposite side. Final answer. When table tennis becomes a reality show here. Timeout is used. No lifelines left for Dimitrij OVTCHAROV. Is he going to go with the crowd on this one? All right, so cleaning the table. It's a 1-point game here. Remember, whoever takes this game is leading 3 games to 2, 1 game away from the title. Timo Boll has cleared the path. The toughest players, the 2 that everyone thought they would be seeing in the final if they were on opposite sides of the tournament. Opposite sides of the draw, Liege and Malong. Dimitrij OVTCHAROV with the smoother path. Still up by 1 out of the timeout. Oh, the second one, he can't play soft right out of the timeout. Dima gets the point. Touch receive first, nice and short, maybe a little off the top of the net. But from the back of the table, can't contact for the top spin shot.
6-9.
So from up by 1 to up 3 now, a bit of a run here for Dima. We've seen Timo Boll come back from greater deficits. And on the run to the backhand side, just long, trying to play the middle of the table. Dimitrij OVTCHAROV now with 4 game points to go up 3-2. It's easy to start thinking into the future, the interviews on the court. Much better response again. Timo Boll's getting more and more comfortable with that long serve into the backhand. Talk about striking it while it's hot. Dima definitely taking advantage of that pattern in that opening. Good job, says Coach Chun Hong Yu. 1 game point saved by Timo Boll. And the receive goes out. So it's going to be the next game or Game 7 victory for Timo. It's going to have to be Game 7 if Timo's going to continue his streak, and Dima can take it in Game 6 or Game 7. Game 6 coming up right after this. Stay right here to see what happens. Players come back for game number 6. Timo Boll with his back against the ropes, down 2 games to 3. We've seen him come back again from deeper in the pockets. Dima trying to keep up the streak to stay hot. Get that backhand in early. Long serves where he can. Curious to see how the patterns will change with the Dima serves. But Timo will start off game number 6. No question about that. Dima saying, sir, your flash is on. Cameraman directly in line with the table.
Love 1.
Flashes can be quite detrimental. I actually saw one essentially ruin a match for Jan-Ove Waldner late in his career in Sweden. Drop shots are always so difficult, even with the feeling and touch that Timo Boll has. And that's quite a low shot. Against a lob, if it's a little shallow, yeah, sometimes For a low trajectory shot like that with heavy topspin, that's going to be very difficult to keep short. Timeout here for Timo Boll feels appropriate. He's down 0-3 in a game that he needs to win to send this to the 7th. What's it going to be like in Timo's corner? The 36-year-old will be in his corner thinking of strategies. He's pulled off the most amazing comeback in this tournament against Liege. He beat the most unbeaten player in the world, Ma Long. And now he's playing against his teammate, one world ranking above him, world rank number 4, Dimitrij OVTCHAROV. How can he keep that backhand out of play early on? How can he get Dimitrij OVTCHAROV out of position? The serve placement there, you can see it'd be very difficult for Timo Boll to play it wide and deep to the forehand because Dima's waiting for it there. He's got the wingspan. Taller players have a bigger middle. Can Timo find the middle of Dimitrij OVTCHAROV? Can he get him off balance to step around and take a forehand? Then play it out the other way. Can he back him off the table, then play it softer, but not a full-on drop shot? Oh, Dima! All the way to the corner. This was crucial. Timo completely fooling him in this receive. That's the wingspan. Not a bad shot from Timo. Leaves it on the exact opposite side of the table, and Dima at full sprint punches it to the length of the table to take the point. Can't have a much better response to your opponent's timeout than the way Dima's played the last 2 points. Power from Timo, he's not giving up, not yet. I think when you've played as long as Timo, you know when it's time for exhibition and you know when the crowd wants to see you fight. And in table tennis, time and time again, even in this tournament, he has fought till the very, very end. A 5-1 lead is encouraging for Dima, but not safe. This is a good opportunity for Timo. Deep to the backhand and then parallel down the middle of the table. Trying to go a little bit wider out to the forehand. Beautiful shots crossing the chest. Now occasionally we'll see professionals take shots like this to save them a little bit of time. The technique will go a little bit out the window for whatever's necessary in real time. From that angle, didn't look quite as drastic. Use that backhand. The backhand flip, the punch, some spin.
2-7.
Big point here. The difference between 6-3 and 2-7, both are still attainable. But Dima's getting close, getting very close to the Men's World Cup. Oh, and a service error.
8-2.
Oh, the pain for Timo Boll. And the backhand doesn't come down either. These are the types of scores where in certain circumstances, especially with 2 players from the same team, if it's many match points against Timo, you might see an exhibition point.
2-10.
8 championship points for Dimitrij OVTCHAROV after the dream tournament that Timo has had, conquering all the bosses on the other side. Jenny OVTCHAROV watching. Anticipation. We've seen Timo come back before. What's going to happen? And Dimitrij OVTCHAROV does it. 11-2, falls to his knees and on the ground. The World Cup, he can't believe it. What a performance. I can't remember the last time I've seen Dimitrij OVTCHAROV fall flat to the ground. He's saying thank you so much for clearing the path for me, kissing the table. Jenny will not be jealous, love right back to her. I love the table, thank you. Donick sponsoring me and the table. And to my wife as well. The mother of my child, Emma, Dimitrij OVTCHAROV takes down the man who nobody else could. 36-year-old teammate, world number 5, Timo Boll. But the man right now is Dimitrij OVTCHAROV, world rank number 4, and look at the scores here. A dominant, absolutely dominant Game 6 after Timo Boll took the first one and tied it up by the narrowest of margins in the 4th. After that, Dimitrij OVTCHAROV found some extra fuel and put the pedal to the metal. Congratulations, Dimitrij OVTCHAROV, the 2017 Men's World Cup champion right here in Liege, Belgium. So enjoy the highlights and stick around. We've got the award ceremony coming up in just a bit.
11-7. Game. 11-2.
Fantastic match, a bomb match, Dimitrij OVTCHAROV, the champion of the world. Mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, Dimitrij OVTCHAROV, winner of the World Cup. Timo, congratulations, World Cup champion. How does it feel?
Oh, it's actually unreal. I could never imagine many years ago that I would be able to have such a victory, and it's of course daily work, but so much support from my family and my coaches, my team, and I'm speechless. I could take such a trophy across so many legends to see my name on the cup.
Fantastic, and you had great support from your family. I think they're just over there, right?
Yes, my wife, yeah, she gave me a lot of strength, and of course my daughter home, my father, my mother, yeah. Without the family, it would never be possible.
Very nice. And a close game also, 2-2, things are going really close. Then in the last 2 games, obviously Timo, legend of the game, friend of yours, always so close, but the last 2 games made a little bit of a difference there.
Well, I mean, Timo, he beat Lingao Yan, but especially he beat Ma Long. This is really incredible. I think he's a few years older and he had such tough matches. I felt he was a bit tired, not that quick like against the Chinese top guys. I was a little bit fortunate the draw for me, and I believe with his performance here, he deserved the victory as much as me.
Nice to say, Dimitrij, nice to say. And finally, how will you celebrate, Timo? Fantastic victory, how will you celebrate?
Well, I don't know. My private coach, my national team coach, and my wife are here, and I think we're going to head back to our home and celebrate together with my parents.
Sounds good. Have a great celebration. Ladies and gentlemen, Dimitrij OVTCHAROV, champion, Liege 2017 Men's World Cup.